What's good? Are we live? Are we live? Yes, we are. What's up? What's up? Yo, gang! Where's my gang? Where's my gang? It's finally good to be live again. How you doing, boys? How you doing? Let me know what's up. Nice, nice. Okay, let me set everything. Today we're going to do Patcher Lab. Yes. Yes, actually I can wait. I can wait to show you how I work, you know? What's up? Yeah, people are tuning in. What's up, Raim? What's up, Bradman? What's up, Zlak? Zlak? Is that the right pronunciation? Arlkin, oh my god, I can't say that name. What's good? Arlkin, yeah. Fabian B, yo, what's up? We have Canon, aka Glay. We have Jed. Guys, let me know if I'm saying your name right. I'm the worst person at, saying people's names. Whatever, just know that I love you, even though I say your name in a weird way. That's it. We have a little host today, which is my dog. Can you see that? It's there. Can you see it? Can you say hi, Pepe? That's her name. Pepe. It's not Pepe, it's Pepe. Yeah. My little Pepe. Hello. Discord gang. The Discord gang is strong as ever. Are we ready to do the very first episode of Patcher Lab? We're doing a patch together, finally. Hi Markup, hi VCR Archive, and Hi everybody. Yeah, we're gonna wait like 5 minutes or so people can join the stream and start from the beginning. But yeah, today we are going to do a Pultec EQP-1A, I think that's the name of the hardware, clone. We're trying to get as close as possible as the real thing. Of course, you know, with limitations that, of course, we have. But yeah. Pepe, yeah, Tyrone Pepe, you spelled that right. Pepe. She's sleeping. So, how you doing? What you were doing right now? Were you just waiting for the live stream to start, or were you producing something? Were you creating a new patch, whatever, something like that? I was walking my dog, and basically that's the highlights of what I do, because the rest of the day I'm here. Damn. Actually, I cannot wait to start. It's gonna be a very nerdish episode. Don't get me wrong. If you are a guy that doesn't care about, you know, adjustments and stuff, you might find this pretty weird, but hopefully you can enjoy that. And of course, I activated the notifications for direct messages for my Discord mods. So mods, if you have something to notify, DM me on Discord. Because last time I wasn't paying attention to the chat. We had a how is it called that? We had we have the contest, the music contest. So I was reviewing the submissions, and I forgot to load one in the project, something like that. I mean, it was loaded in the project, but I forgot to reload it basically. And the chat was like, Frank, you forgot 2 submissions. And I was like, I like this track, and the chat was blowing up. So I'll try my best to focus on the chat more. Okay? Trying to end a meeting to not miss your live. Arlequin, you are a mad lad. Love you. I'm traveling in the bus with FL Mobile. Legend. Jed, you're a legend. And okay. So, Pultec. I'm actually pretty nervous about it because I never tried to emulate a Pultec before. I didn't even like try to look in, I mean, I did wanted to know what a Pultec does, so I did my usual research. Yeah, that's the word. And so kind of knew the DQ curve that is doing blah blah blah, but I never had the feeling to replicate that because, to be honest, I don't use a Pultec a lot. Don't use Pultec EQ a lot. You know, it's not my favorite thing, but it's just a workflow thing. I usually use a Pultec to make stuff more boomy, to increase the bottom end in a musical way. But not a big fan of it. But you know, it's a legendary piece of hardware and everybody should know how it works. Okay, let me do an Instagram story real quick. I wanna notify people that I'm live with the little host. I wanna see the host there. Okay. Should I copy the link? So today, Patcher Lab, oh my god, so hyped and nervous at the same time, because I'm not sure I can actually deliver a very good thing. But yeah, usually I start like I'm never gonna be able to do that, but in the end, you know, with patience and stuff like that, anything's possible. Am I right? So we are gonna wait 5 more minutes, and then we begin to be the most nerd people on the planet. Okay? Promise you. I promise you. Wait a second. Boom. Pepe is super cute in this photograph. Look at that. Pepe. My Pepe. Okay, okay. Okay, Instagram story done. It's part of the job. I know, it's annoying. I don't like Instagram a lot. Can you tell? Hardware is really expensive. Yes, too much expensive. And also, most of the time is not worth it. Okay. Am I still in the frame? Yes, I am. Yeah. Hey, you have been commenting on my tracks saying nice job, and it means a lot. Thanks. Of course, man. Anything you post on my Discord in self-promotion, I give you some kind of support. That's the reason that channel exists. By the way, if you didn't join my Discord server, make sure you join. Link in the description. We have a notebook, of course, because we are being very nerdy today. So, notebook. Notebook, good. Okay. We have the stream desk, we have everything. Nice. So, Pultec is coming. 2 more minutes and then we go. We start from scratch. It's gonna be pretty nerdish, as I said. I know I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I see that new people are joining, so I just want to involve them to the loop, basically. And also, big news, the channel is monetized, and you can use super chat and stuff like that. I didn't set up the membership yet, but I think I probably will. I have no idea about that still. I'm a noob on Discord and I'm a noob on YouTube too. As a YouTuber, I mean. I've been using YouTube since it came out, basically. But you know, I'm a YouTuber just recently. BTS, buonasera. Yes, Italian. Are you Italian? How many Italians in the chat? I wanna know the amount of people from my lovely country. I'm Italian, by the way. If you didn't know it. Yeah, can you hear me right? Can you see me right? Last time we had a little bit of delay between my voice and the footage, so it wasn't perfect, but you know, it was just 100 milliseconds of delay, nothing critical. But yeah, I tried to mess up a little a few settings and it should be a little bit better, but I don't know. Okay, almost time. Okay, guys. Italy, yes. Alex and Markup. Nice. Italia presente qui. Yes. Yes. Oh, MTS is not from Italy, it's from Slovakia. Okay. Nice. Yes, you're doing right. That's the way to do it. I do the same thing. As soon as I move to another country, I try my best to know just a few words to break the ice, and boom. You know, and also I like to challenge myself to speak another language. Actually, I can spell all the alphabet in his American Sign Language, like A, B, C, you know, just because I like it. Maybe one day I'll encounter a deaf person and I will be able to communicate with them just a bit. You know, I'm weird, probably yes, but I think it's a good thing to know multiple languages, even a little bit, a tiny bit. And also, since I'm a weeb, I know some words from Japanese as well, even though I have no idea how to read it and how to actually, you know, write it and anything. I just know that some words mean something, and boom. Actually, I can't wait to go to Japan. I want to go to Osaka and see all the temples and stuff. Okay, let's start. Enough with the intro. We are 15 minutes in. Let's do it. So, first thing first. What is a Pultec EQ? We're starting, by the way, okay? Are we ready? I am. Boom. A Pultec EQ is this piece of hardware. Let me quickly load you an image. Pultec EQP-1A. Wait a second. Here we go. Okay. It's basically this thing. Can I open a little bit larger? Probably not. Yes, it's this piece of hardware. I open up the first website that seems legit. So it's a very complicated piece of hardware because don't speak Japanese in the chat because I can't read it. Don't bully me. So this EQ made history because it's a very unique approach to EQing. The curves are very weird, and you know it's very musical. It's built like a tank, honestly, and I don't know. A lot of people start using it for some reason, and it changed the way music sounds nowadays. Why? Because it has a very powerful boost for the low frequencies. It was very common in studios in America, and it kind of shaped the sound of the American studios, recording studios and stuff, because they were using this quite a lot. And since the boost of the low frequencies is very powerful, and with the attenuation you kind of cut something and you boost something, you know, it's kind of like that, and shape the sound. That's why American songs in the past, I'm not talking about right now everything is connected and everything kind of sound the same, but in the past American songs, like rock songs, pop song, you know, more instrumental, less EDM, sounded more with a more big bottom end, and also thanks to this piece of hardware. So we're gonna emulate the Waves one. which is this one. Also, we have this one, but we're not gonna do this one. Oops. Okay, this is for the middle range. It's another thing. We're going to do the main one, this one, which is the one that I like more. So this one is focused on the middle range. This one is more on the bottom end and top end. You know, it's when everybody think about the Pultec, think about this one, not this one, even though this one is really good too. And so let's try to explain it a little bit. Okay, let's watch the chat too. Start an ASMR channel too, please. Not gonna happen. Damn, I can't think like how people can enjoy that, honestly. It's so, I hate people that eat on stream. You know, there's a concept where streamers just eat on stream. I don't like that. It's pretty disgusting. It's like shelving filters. Yes, kinda. We're gonna take a look at the EQ curve. And so first thing first, Pultec EQ. What do we have? First of all, we have, let me zoom it. Okay, right here we have a bypass switch, nothing crazy. We have a boost, which is this one, and a attenuation knob. And I don't know why they are designed like this, but usually you set frequency. You set a frequency for the low shelf, and you boost with the low shelf, and you attenuate with a bell kind of low shelf. I don't know. It's we're gonna take a look at the exact curve they are doing, but they're not set to the same frequency. That's the thing. It's not like boosting and cutting the same thing, because you're basically not gonna have a different sound if you boost and attenuate at the same value. But they are kind of off, so I'm not sure why it's designed like this. Honestly, it's designed in a very bad way, don't get me wrong, but this bad way forces you to listen. You know, we rely too much with parametric EQs because they are super technical. You can go in that specific frequency and cut something very chirurgically, but we usually forget that to have a pleasant sound, we need, you know, very, I don't know, wide curves, nothing like, more like, you know, pleasing. And this piece of hardware really forces you to use your ears, which is a very good thing, honestly. And so we can set the frequency with this little knob. Let me change the screen again. So set the frequency, boost and attenuate. And then we have another section which is for the top end, and we can boost with, this is a bell, so it's not a high shelf, it's a bell. And we can set up the frequency with this. It's a step knob, this one. So 3, 4, 5, there probably are kilohertz. I honestly don't know, because, you know, this is just pretty aleatory as a plugin. It's just you listen and boom, you like it, use it. You don't like it, don't use it, or change the parameters. And the attenuation is a high shelf, and we can set up the attenuation of this one with this. We have mains, which I believe introduces hum sound, like bzzz in the background, so it's kind of simulate the hardware noise. I'm not sure of that. We're gonna take a look at that. And we have an output gain. Pretty straightforward. And the challenge will be also to try to emulate the harmonics that this EQ introduces, because it's not a parametric EQ like digital, pretty sterile. He has a sound, and in a lot of studios during mastering and mixing, sometimes they were just passing the audio through a Pultec without touching anything, just to color the sound a bit. So that was called like coloring the sound through hardware. And honestly, it can be done. Now that we are in a digital domain and we have a lot of vintage emulation and saturation stuff, I don't think it's very worth to have it inside this one, because I can totally say, oh, I need some coloring, I just load up another VST or patch that does that. But we're going to do that as well. So we're trying to emulate the harmonic content, the harmonics that this piece of hardware introduces. So intro done. Let's load up my very big friend called Doctor plugin. It's a software. Let's close FL Studio for a bit. And let's load the Pultec. Wait a second, guys, wait a second. Almost there. We're entering finally the nerd territory. Pultec. Here we go. Okay. Wait a second, just a second. Did the signal went down? I don't know. OBS made a little bit of a joke. No toilet break. No, it's not a toilet break. I'm good. So it's pretty hot here. Maybe I will start to strip a bit. Yeah, OBS had a very tiny problem with the connection. Not sure what happened, but seems to be right. Is it right? Guys, let me know if you are listening and seeing everything, because it's very important. Okay, super hot in my studio right now. Okay. So, Pultec. We load up plugin doctor. Why OBS? Why? I don't know why. It has some problems today. Yeah, it's back. It's like, I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. I don't know, guys. It feels very weird. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi. So for safety, I'm going to deactivate the Wi-Fi from my Mac. Maybe is that is causing some problems? I don't know. Yeah, OBS, bad guy. So, can we finally start talking about plugin doctor? Maybe it's plugin doctor that is cursed. Maybe it's that. Hey Frank, do these patches work in all DAWs? No, and they just work in FL Studio because they are presets. I'm streaming using the Wi-Fi. Yeah, next time I will try to use Ethernet, maybe. It lost connections a couple of times. I don't know why, never happened, like never happened. I don't have the strongest connection, by the way, because I live in the countryside, but wherever. Let's start talking about Pultec finally. So as you can see, we have a curve here that is not completely flat. If I deactivate, honestly, it stays there because, as I said, people usually just pass audio through the hardware, even though they didn't change anything in the settings. But yeah, so we know that the bypass doesn't actually bypass the whole thing. It still introduced that little bump in gain because the transformer, the tube, no, I believe it was the tube circuits of the Pultec that introduces a little gain in the audio. So everything you pass through it, you will have a gain bump of 1.3 dB, I believe. Plugin Doctor, we can actually see that. Actually 3 dB because 0 is here. 3 dB, really? Whatever. And as you can see, we can manipulate the output gain. Yes, you can see it moving. And we can start boosting. It's a little laggy, not gonna lie. It's a little laggy. Plugin Doctor, I mean. But it works very well. As you can see, we can boost with this boost knob, and we can attenuate with this other knob, and we can set the frequency. So as you can see, it's not what you expect from an EQ, like, oh, maybe like 60 hertz, I'm gonna boost 60 hertz. No, you're not boosting just 60 hertz, you're boosting also, what is that, 200, yeah, 100, 200. So this plugin is very like, you do and you listen and you basically discover what is doing to the sound. Usually the most common usage of this piece of hardware slash plugin emulation is you boost and cut almost at the same volume. So let's say 4/4. So it does this bump. So your song, your audio, whatever, it can be used on whole mixes or on individual instrument or buses. So anything. You gain something in a certain area and you lose something in another area. So it's kind of like shaping the thing. So as you can see, this attenuation, it's almost like a bell, but I don't know, it feels weird because it goes way down, so it will be a challenge to replicate that. But basically this is what it's doing. As you can see, this one is basically just increasing the hell of the audio. Very weird. And the boost, it's this one. As you can see, a bell, finally, no shelf. This is the bandwidth, which also shape a little bit the gain. You know, it gets wider, but at the same time it gets lower. So we're going to try to replicate that as well. And boost, of course, and cut, it's a shelf again. And you can set the frequency of the boost. Let's do it like this. Pretty standard. This one This one, it will be the most easy thing to replicate, for sure. And a guy said, I already made it. It's not possible to make the boost attenuation at the same time. It's totally possible. Like, we're trying to create a patch that does the same thing. Il filtro per farlo non esiste in NFL. He wrote in Italian. He said that there's no such perfect filter to do that. Well, we have the parametric EQ. We're going to use the parametric EQ. The trick will be to shape the Q of the thing we're moving dynamically. I'm going to show you how. But yeah, it's going to be a challenge. Like, don't get me wrong. This is going to be a very hard plugin to replicate just because it's very random. But we can try. Okay, don't last that you already made a Pultec with Patcher. Please join the Discord, so after the stream we can talk about your version if you want to share with the Discord server, and we are going to look at the differences between yours and mine and see how it does. Okay, I would love to do that. Okay, so as you can see, yeah, Don Luss was doing that. You have to change dynamically the shape. Yeah, you can do it. Like, for example, and also you have to change the frequency as well, because as you can see here, if you attenuate with the shelf, it goes down like this. But if you change this one, it's like moving the frequency. And if you change this, oops, sorry, I wanted to do something else. I wanted to do like this. See, it changes a lot of stuff. It doesn't just move, you know, the bell. It's increasing a little bit here and there. We have to make sure that we do all those little things. And with step knobs, it's so much better to work with, but we have just the frequency range, which is a step knob. The boost and cut, they are free, so it's gonna be tricky. So we take a look at this, but what about the harmonic content? Well, we're going to do a sine wave test. That's the best way to discover what harmonics a plugin introduces, and you can do it with within your DAW. But as we can see, this plugin is introducing a lot of harmonics, and if we go down with the frequency, yeah, we can see that we have odd harmonics and even harmonics too. So it's not gonna be a straight saturation. That's it. It's gonna be a little bit more complex than that. And also we see that this plugin doesn't have a oversampling function. As you can see, we have the harmonics going up, and then getting this aliasing effect. So they're bouncing back, which is bad if you want to replicate a hardware analog thing, you know, because analog gear doesn't have the aliasing effect. That's why they sound more clean, blah blah blah. And so we can get rid of this using the Fruity Wave Shaper, because it has oversampling, and I'm gonna use it for sure. So thanks that ImageLine put an oversampling function in that plugin, which is very, very good. Also very underrated. Okay, so we're not gonna have this aliasing effect in our thing, but you know, we're going to try to introduce all these harmonics the best way we can. Don't expect the holy grail of the emulation, because it's honestly getting a 100% exact same thing. It will take like months of works. Not possible. We are trying to do the best thing we can do within the stream. And also, of course, this patch will be available on my Discord. So I'll try my best to finish it in this stream. If it's not gonna be finished, I'm gonna take like a couple of days to tweak a little bit more the parameters, and when it's ready, it's gonna be available. Let's load an empty project, and we're going to load the famous Pultec emulation by Waves. Also, Waves is not the only plugin company that made this, but I think that Waves is pretty much good at replicating hardware. I don't know, it's just my taste, but the point is we're trying to do the best we can with this. That's it. So we load Patcher 2. Let's load, first of all, we're going to replicate the EQ curve and then the harmonic content, of course. Also, I'm not sure if the harmonics are generated before the EQ circuit or after the EQ circuit. If someone of you guys know, please let me know, because I honestly don't know. I believe that they are generated before the EQ circuits, but whatever. So EQ, and let's load this little bad boy, which basically does the same thing as the Doctor plugin. It's less precise, but you can actually load this into your DAW. And it's called EQ Curve Analyzer. You load two of them. One of them, it will start creating this impulse train, and the other one, it will detect that impulse train and it will translate that to the frequency spectrum. So now we can, as you can see, this one is moving, and as you can see, when I boost, it's gonna boost. Awesome. So the best method you can have, in my opinion, is to create some curves with this, but you actually want to nullify what a plugin is doing. So that's my very first approach in emulating plugins. So let's say that, for example, this plugin already has a sound. So all the settings are at 0, and we already can see that it's boosting a bit the sound. It's not 3 dB, by the way, it's like 1. Let me see how much. So no Pultec, Pultec. No Pultec, Pultec. So, first thing first, let's try to emulate this little curve. It's very, very basic, but we can actually do that pretty easily. So we have a EQ here, and the best thing is doing the opposite of what it's doing. Let you see what I mean. So it's boosting, we have to cut it, and we bring it at 0. So in the end, at some point, we're gonna have a Pultec which does the exact same opposite of a Pultec, And in that moment, we're just gonna reverse all the parameters, and boom, we have a perfect clone of a plugin. Does it make sense what I'm saying? Because I think it does. So as you can see, we are gonna try our best to bring everything at 0. So we have a low cut here. We're gonna leave that for later. And so it's boosting like 1.1 dB. We can make it more precise. Yes. So as you can see, it's already at 0. It's nothing much. If we deactivate the EQ, how can I do it without just bypassing the patch? So this is with the Pultec and a patcher deactivated, so perfect line. This one is boosting and coloring a tiny bit. We can see there's a little bump around 3K, and this one basically puts everything down. We can try to do this little thing with this. So we don't need all these ones. And of course, we're going to use a lot of EQs, parametric EQs too. But in the end, we're trying to compact. There's a little bit of attenuation here, around 40 Hertz. Not worth going through that because it's just probably like 0.05 of a dB. Not worth it. And this little shelf, like is not shelf, I believe it's more like a low pass. We're gonna leave that for the very end, or maybe not. Oh yes, we're gonna leave that there because we're trying to do the opposite, remember. So this is the color. Let's call this color. The coloring is done. We actually nullified that. So let's load another instance of parametric EQ, default. Next step is to replicate the boost. Okay, that will be very awesome. But yeah, I'm a little scared because I honestly don't know how to do it. Like every time I start replicating a patch, it's a brand new experience for me. So we set to, let's start at 100, shall we? So 100 boost. As we can see how the curve, it's a little bit, I don't know, dynamic. It's not like perfectly fine. It's most like it's a shelf that it's going down in frequency as soon as you turn up the boost. Let's try to do that. So the best thing could be setting some high spot. Like, how do you call those moments? Yeah, stream that again. My bad. It's probably OBS that it's glitching. Let me know if the stream is down by tagging me in the live chat. So tag me like, Frank, the stream is temporarily down, something like that. So let's do, yeah, how do you call those points in a video game where you can save? Like checkpoints. Yes, we're gonna use the checkpoint strategy. So we can split up the knob into like 10 points and then shaping all the values between them. So let's load this bad boy. Let's make the global speed at 0. Input. Let's organize the screen a little bit like this. And let's start. Oh, of course, I have to enable this and create a knob on the surface. X knob. This one is the boost for the low frequencies, and we are going to manipulate first of all this. So when it's a 0, it's a 0. That's good. When it's a 5, so 50%, it's like this. Let's try to do the same thing, but in the opposite way. So we're trying to make this one at 0. It's a 0, as you can see. There's that bump, so we cannot actually achieve that with just a shelf. That's basically what Don Luss were saying, but we can compensate with something like this. Wow, it's magically at 0. Still is not. Don't focus on, oh, it's not 100% at 0, because it's not 100% at 0. We can try to fix all those things later if it's worth it. If it's not worth it, let's leave it there, like it's not a big deal. But yeah, with these two thing on the EQ, can you see that? Probably not. Okay, we basically nailed it. I mean, it's pretty close. A little bit more. Okay, nice. At 0. So boost knob when it's at 50% of the value, it's basically doing this thing but in reverse with the low frequency at 100. Okay, I have to read the chat a bit, sorry guys. Oh, this guy Don Luss, bless you. The distortion is generated before and after the EQ. Nice knowledge. And it's the transformers are introducing that. A little bit before and after. We can try to do that, without spending, of course, ages to do that. Okay. Let me read the chat, boys. The other stream was a very messy because I wasn't paying attention to the chat. Trying to get better at this. Okay. Blah blah blah. I'm reading. Quick message to tell you, Rocket's dope. Thank you, Anime World. And linear phase. Okay, would it be worth to check linear phase option on each parametric EQ? Don't know if the Pultec EQ is adding phase to the sound. Analog piece of hardware are not linear. Linear phase, it's cool, but it's not. It depends. So if you're doing something in parallel and stuff, yeah, parallel linear EQs are of course usually good, but don't stress about linear phase too much, because sometimes with the pre-ringing effect and stuff, your audio can actually lose more than gain something. I'm not a huge fan of linear EQs, but even though I use them. But yeah, we let's go back to the patch. So let's load this, and since one knob is not enough, we have to make sure that we connect the same knob with another value and with this value here, and probably the Q2. Like, it's gonna be a mess, honestly, in the end, because all the parameters, you know, one parameters of this is gonna move tons of parameters of the EQ in the end. But most importantly, we can right click and copy this value with the C, and right click. OBS is live again. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know what's happening, guys. It's not my internet, it's literally OBS. But yeah, bear with me. But yeah, basically, if you lost it, I copied the parameters, so we have this value when we are on 50%. Let's go 100%. Holy, that's a very big boost. So where we are at 100%, let's try just to move the gain of the shelf. Let's see if it's doing something. Probably it won't be enough. So 0. This one right here feels like a very big bell, and it's basically this bell, but not in the same position. So we have to make sure that this frequency is lined up with what happened, with what happens with the knob. So let's do the same thing. Paste. I'm not sure at 0 what I should keep as value, but whatever. And let's link this one to the frequency of the bell. And so we have to move that like this, and then like this. And of course, also the Q has to be dynamic. So this one, it's not enough. We need another one for the Q of the bell. And let's do this. Output. And let's adjust that. Voila! Almost 0. Yes, almost 0. Let's try to achieve the perfect amount of, I don't know, the perfect shape. I'm not gonna touch the other one yet because I have to activate all the little things, you know, the Q, the frequency, everything of the low shelf too. So yeah, it's kinda 0. Let's say that for now it's okay. Of course it's not okay, but okay. So we have to activate the Q of the low shelf. Can you see that? It's a little bit borderline. We have to activate this one too. It's active now. Also the frequency, activate. And what else? Nothing else. for now. So let's load the epsilon, y epsilon. So copy. Remember that our checkpoint is the 50%, the previous checkpoint, and now we are trying to mess around with the 100% checkpoint of the knob. And frequency, actually let's do frequency now, and the Q here. I don't know, it makes more sense for me. Okay, and when we are here, let's try to mess around with the Q, with the gain as well. Yeah, it's a little bit wavy, as you can see. It's gonna be tricky to achieve the perfect line with just two pretty parametric EQ value. Yeah, we probably need a third one or something like that. It's a little bit more straight. See, because the Q of the low shelf is probably not enough. Let's try to add another one, another low shelf, and with a very wide Q. As you can see, we are trying to smooth that a little bit more in frequency. It's probably a bell. No, it's probably a low shelf, right? See, it's going down and up. So I wonder what that is. Let's start with an I shelf. Probably like a bell. Guys, I'm just trying to do stuff. I'm not, I'm not doing something, because I discovered what that is. I'm trying to make it smoother, more smooth than possible, basically. So yeah, as you can see, until this point, we managed to achieve the plain looking curve. It's not perfectly aligned still. We have a little bump here though, of like 0.34 dB, so half dB bump. Not ideal. We should make that a little bit, like this. So this is the process, basically. I'm gonna read the chat a bit because I see that you're writing a lot and I don't want to miss a thing. Yeah, as you can see, boom, a straight line. It's not perfectly straight, but whatever. Damn, this stream is very glitchy. Yeah, it's a thinking game for sure, because we have to achieve the same EQ curve if we want to replicate that. So when we are at 100%, we're basically doing this kind of curve, just in the opposite thing, because we are cutting, but this plugin is really boosting. And when we are halfway, we have another thing. So when let's try to to bring this one at 0, 0. As you can see, the 3 and 4 are not being automated yet. So right now I'm gonna get rid of them just for the sake of keep things simple. So 0, okay, pretty much nailed it. 50%, type in value 50, pretty much nailed it again. There's a tiny bit of, you know, little bit of attenuation bump, but nothing too much crucial. And 100%. Why they're going up like that? Oh my god, I think I messed up the values. No, I didn't save them. Oh, my bad. Yeah, but whatever, you got what I mean, right? We have to make sure to do that every time. So let me quickly redone that. So like this. And like this. Okay. So let's try to save this. We have to save all these informations in the exact same spot of our Fruity XYZ controller. So we have, what is this? Band 1 level, okay. Paste. Then we have band 2 level, C, V, and then we have band 1 frequency, band 2 frequency, C, like that. And what do we have? We have the Q, right? Yes. Which is this one. This one. Okay. So let's try again with the... So we have 100%, there's a little bump, we're gonna fix that later. And 50%. 50%. Yeah, still not right. We have to make sure that something is off. 0%, 0%, okay. Here we go again. It's this process all over again. So probably this episode it will be just me creating the perfect boost, you know, knob of the Pultec, not the whole Pultec. And the frequency is different. Frequency. Okay, this one is the frequency. So that is not right. Now it's right, more or less. Nice, look at that, look at what a straight line I did. Frequency. Q. Nice. And the other one was right. I don't know. I'm lost in track of what I'm doing, honestly. So let's try again. 0, 0, 50%. It's glitching again. What is happening? Is the number one thing, the low shelf basically moving? It's going up and down. If I go 100, that's pretty much a 0. Okay, we need to fix the... I forgot to paste the levels, yeah. I imagine that. Okay, paste in this one. Here we go. Is that it? 0. Yes. So the checkpoints. 0. Okay, pass. 50%. Pass. 100%. Pass. That's a victory. We have the three main thing. You know? Wow. So let me clone this one a bit, just for what is it called? Want to duplicate that? Yes. So I can have the 0 and 50 and 100% value at my disposal. So we're gonna have 0%, oops, 50%, 100%. Okay. Too small, too small. Nice. Here we go. So like this, let's activate, and then we're gonna have 50 and 100. So I can just right click C, right click V, and here we go. And I will use them to set different type of, I don't know, value through the wheel. Next checkpot, guess what it is? Ouch. The next checkpot is 25% and 75%. So let's set it to 2.5 and of course 25. See, it's not perfectly aligned. So we need to make sure that this is a straight line again. Questions? Do you have questions? Because we achieved the first milestone. So we get the 0%, 50% and 100% of the boost knob of the low shelf right. You know, even though it's not perfect, we can focus on the little bouncing thing in the curve basically later. So if you have questions, let me know. I would love to reply. Also about the Fruity X Epsilon Z controller, because I know that it's a very mysterious tool for a lot of people. What's the music in the background? The music is in the background is I don't know, I don't remember the name of the guy, but you know the channel Alpha Gaming? Probably. It's a channel on YouTube that provide help for streaming content. Basically, it helps you to have a great content on your streaming social media, and it's very spot on. And also he launched a label, something like that, where you can use his music and put it in the background of your streams and never get a copyright claim. Another hiccup, but we are back. Sorry guys, yes. I was able to notice that as soon as it happened. And so, good job, man. This is interesting. How did you learn to use Patcher this good? Honestly, I was just curious to see how it worked, and I don't know, I just tried, I just did. It's not I learned, I just, did something. There's no guide on YouTube that teaches you to use Patcher, but yeah, maybe I should do one, but I don't know. I think that a live stream is way more better, because if someone has a question, I can instantly, if I look at the chat, reply and get it solved. If I make a video, I know I'm very messy, honestly, and I will probably not mention a lot of important stuff, and people will get like a little upset about it. So let's try to nail this 25%. So this 25%, it's probably moving this one a little bit up. Let's bring it to 0. And let's copy and let's paste it here. And this other one, there's a pretty big bump there, because this bell is not in the exact same position that it should be. Should be here with this type of cue. Wow, anime wow sound effect. So level, we know that this is the level. And what else? The frequency. This is the frequency, 25%. Wait, is going up like that? It's probably coming down. Probably at 0 is not here, is probably higher, so it's going down like this. It's not like going up and down. It makes no sense. But for now, let's leave it there. And the Q, right? Yes. The Q, copy and paste. Same thing here, probably is going down. So 25% pretty much nailed it. But if we go to 0 dynamically, boom, boom, yeah, it's pretty nice. We can probably already imagine a value for that, like the frequency of the bell, this one, it's probably like this. Am I right? Nice. As you can see, it's already feels like it's moving. Forget the little glitch there. If you move this one very fast, it will start, glitching a bit. And look at that, look how smooth it is. Yeah, pretty nice. This one is doing the same thing in the opposite way. So this one is the gain, am I right? The frequency What is this one again? It's the band 2 frequency, okay. Let's try to do the 75%, shall we? $7.5 and 75. We have to nail the other point, okay? Paul, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we are nerding around a lot, so you lost a bit, but you know, it's not crucial. We're trying to emulate the also. Let me do a recap for the ones that just joined. And we're trying to nail the boost knob of the Pultec, just this one knob, the best way we can. And we're trying to do the opposite of what the Pultec is doing, so we can actually have this line here. The best way, we're trying to get that line straight to 0 the best way we can. That's basically it. So as you can see, we are doing this. It's probably moving in the frequency as well. We never moved the low shelf frequency yet, and also the width of this thing. We'll see. We can do this. Let's say that that's a 0. So let's copy the gain and let's paste the gain here. Nice. This one. Okay, it's going down a little bit off. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. Let's change the Q. It still keeps a little bit of still keeps a little bit of that wavy thing, which we knew it was there, because of 100%, when this one is 100%, it bounces a little bit with those things, but let's try our best to get rid of them. Pretty much okay, I will say. Now let's bring it back up. Yeah, this is pretty straight. There's just this little bump and a little bit of less signal here, but yeah, let's say it's good for now. So band 2 level, as always. I'm copying and pasting the value with C, right click C and right click V. Frequency, which is this one, right? Yes. V. What's going up? Interesting. It's probably wrong, but we'll see. And of course, the width, which is this one. Yeah, this is very, very random. We're gonna see how it behaves between our checkpoints, okay? So we can understand what's going on and fix it. So, did I did everything? Probably yes. So, again, let's try to do this. Activate 25, 75. So 0, 0 straight. A bit of work here. I'm glad that the bump here is in the same position, so we have just to fix something. Yeah, the stream went down again. Okay. Sorry guys, it's the way it is. Today the stream is like very crazy. It's just OBS though, it's not the Wi-Fi. So let's try to do something very clever, which is an automation. First of all, let's save the project. You know, we don't want to lose all this progress. On the desktop, Pultec EQ. Never say never. And we can try to automate this knob like this, and we can do the same thing with our knob and see how it behaves between those values. The most slow it is, the most clear it will be. So let's try to see what happens. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, as you can see, between 0 and 0.5 we're losing a little bit, and then we are bouncing a little bit. You know, it's bouncing like that because of the train impulse. If we slow down even more the BPM, it will have a more smooth thing going on. Do you think that the stream hiccups are for another app in the background? I can check. I'm not sure. I can check for sure. I don't think so, but we'll see. Wait a sec. Nope, there's nothing in the background going. And my Mac is turned off, the Wi-Fi, so it's not the Wi-Fi for sure. So back at our patch, from 0 to 25%, it's pretty much good. It's not perfect. As you can see, we're losing something. And then we are adjusting a bit. And of course there's also a little bit of bump, yeah, because it's 2.8, but yeah, whatever. Let's go ahead, and then we are staying down. We have a little bump here, then it's moving down towards the 50%. Yeah, it's not the same, because if we actually keep like this, it will stay perfectly aligned. I don't know. And let's go up. The only way to actually do it is to put individual values in the knob. Don't do this. You know, this is just a fancy thing to see. But as you can see, it's not perfectly fine all the time. As you can see, they are not aligned with the values. And we're going back. Okay. Let me delete those events. Okay. Yeah, but we were actually pretty close about that. The thing is, we managed to do this while the frequency of the Pultec is set to this value. What happens if we actually change the value? Well, if we care about the low shelf, is not is not introducing a lot of troubles because we never touched the frequency of the of this, you know, of the low shelf. We just had to introduce a bell that was going with the shelf, and so we can actually, when we change the frequency, we can actually also introduce a little bit of bump there. Strange. We can probably change the frequency of the low shelf and be awesome with that, but since this one is designed to work when the frequency is set at 100, the best thing could be deactivate the bell when it's in one of these values and keep it active just when it's set to 100. And you know, when we go to 60, we can activate another exclusive bell just for the 60 hertz. And same thing about the 30 hertz. You know, we remove the other ones and we activate this one, this brand new one. And same thing with the 20 hertz, while keeping the frequency of our main low shelf active. But we have to you know, think that the frequency response when we move this one, it will be actually different too, because this piece of hardware is very whatever, it does what it wants to do. So we can try to see if we have to mess around with the gain of the low shelf too when we set this frequency to another value, because if that happens, we will have to activate a brand new low shelf that is active just when the frequency knob is set to another parameters, another value, sorry. Let's try. So let's set it to 60. As we can see, there's a little bump in the top end when you move this one to 60. Interesting. If you move this one to 30, we'll create a bump, a noticeable bump, like almost a dB, like 0.7 dB probably. And another one too. And this looks exactly like a high shelf. Totally. This is an high shelf. So when we move this one, it will actually do something. And I'm thinking that probably this is just a coloring thing, that we can use this EQ we use for the main gain boost to follow this one a bit. And let's see if I change this one. Okay, no movement here. Nice. Let's see here. No movement again. Awesome. And this thing, as you can see, introduces some noise. And doesn't concern us a lot. Also, I'm not a big fan of plugins that introduce noises and stuff. Team Kong versus Godzilla is overhyped. What are you talking about? Team Kong all day. Okay. It could be Steam updating for the 1 millionth time. No, it is not. I don't have Steam installed on the Stream PC. And also on my Mac. No, OBS is working on a Windows. Yeah, it's a computer, normal one. Yeah, Navas Merchant. Yeah, beside the work that Steve Duda has done, imagine if Frank was backed and sponsored by big companies to create FX plugins. It would be awesome, honestly, you know? But I don't know, it's not happening, I think. I would love to have ImageLine actually check out my patches, because I think that people can actually really enjoy using them, but they seem to not really care about what these clones that I'm doing, probably because it's against the it's kind of against the plugin market, even though I'm not really destroying the market in any way. But yeah, if I create a CLA Epic clone, which is of course different in sound and everything, but it does the same thing, ImageLine could think, oh, Frank, it's going against Waves and people will not buy the new Waves plugin. You know, we don't want to have that bad light on us, and probably let's ignore that. Even though my patch doesn't really need to be, you know, super hyped, like, oh, yo, Frank, you did something so awesome, something like that, you know? I don't think I deserve that treatment, but I would honestly love to think what ImageLine is thinking about all these patches, and we'll see. So let's try to see what happens. So we discovered that this frequency thing, it's basically introducing a bump in the higher frequencies. So let's add that thing here. We already have this high shelf activated. I'm gonna create a new one. Sorry, my voice is cracking a bit for some reason. I have a preset called FP Instant, which basically is just the global speed at 0. Nothing fancy. Let's activate the outputs. And we're gonna introduce a new knob. New knob. Where's my boy? Okay, this one. We're gonna call it low frequency. And this is a step knob, so it has 4 values. What do we have to do? Right click the knob. This one is something that a lot of people don't know about this. Properties and maximum value. So maximum value, in this case, we want to have 4 steps. The maximum value is 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's always the number of steps you want minus 1. So 3. Again, right click, properties, move speed, and turn this one into 1, because we want to have the knob moving as low as possible. We just have 4 steps basically. As you can see now, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. And this one is gonna be so much easier to set up than the other one, because the other one is free. This one is a step knob. So step knobs with this one works very well. So at 0 we have the high shelf activate. This is the gain, and also the frequency we have to activate, probably also the Q. And low frequency in the X. So this is the frequency. No, this is the gain. So when it's a 0, this amount of gain. When it's a 80, we are gonna make our best to bring it up to 0 like that. Yeah. Right click C. Oh, sorry, that one was 100%. So this is 75. See, this one, it's this one. Okay, now we're talking. So 100%, boom. 75%, boom, nice. 30%. As you can see, we have to move the frequency also, probably, and also the EQ. Or maybe we just have to introduce a little bell, because that actually looks like a bell. So let's leave it this one like this for now. Oh, this is just 4. I'm an idiot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to do 33%. 1, 33, 66, and 99. So let's snap it. Okay, boom. And this one, 66. Boom. Okay. And we're gonna introduce a bell for that. And when it's at 0, yeah, we totally have to introduce a bell for sure. Okay, let's introduce a bell. So this is for like 20 hertz, like this. You have to activate this, activate this, activate this, copy, and paste. Okay, now it's the boring part, like we have to do this adjustment every time. This is 20. Nice. So 0, 25, I mean, first step, second step also, pretty much at 0. This one, see, too much down, so we need to boost this one a bit. And this one, it has to be this one a little higher. Okay. Of course I have to do this too. Okay. So we'll see. First step, move that up a little bit. Boom. Yeah, it's totally tricky. Like, it's a very hard thing to nail for sure. But yeah, as you can see, we pretty much nailed it, you know, these two knobs. I mean, this one, of course, the 4 steps, and this one, the checkpoint, 0, 25, 50, 75, 100%. Well, see? Let me read the chat a bit. If you have questions, this is the moment. Keep them coming. Yeah, Patcher is basically music plus programming plus math. My mom was a math teacher in middle school, so nothing advanced, but she was graduated in physics. Now she's retired. She's not that. Okay, just want to throw that out. Music and math are very close. Yes, definitely. If you know a little bit of math, I'm not saying to study statistics and stuff, but logarithmic and formulas and, you know, sine waves, cosine waves. Actually, I don't know how they are, if it's cosine, because of course I studied math in Italian. So we have seno and coseno instead of sine and cosine. Names are different, but yeah, those formulas, the tangents, the hyperbolics stuff, they're all useful in music, and in Patcher even more. Let me see if your questions, we can chill for a minute like this. Yes. Let's see if you have questions. Okay. I'm reading the chat, boys. I don't want to lose anything. Okay, question. Quality difference for same plugin emulation between UAD, Waves, Plugin Alliance, huge or negligible? Surely it's not a big deal. But when I was trying to do my own SSL compressor, which, to be honest, wasn't meant to be SSL compressor in the sound, but just in the interface and the workflow, I did a couple of tests on some plugins that I have, and I have the SSL compressor of Waves and IK Multimedia. And the one by IK Multimedia, it doesn't sound like a normal SSL compressor, like what you expect from an SSL compressor. Make you see that. It's not classic comp. How it's called? We also have the, as you can see, the Pultec, but it sounds different. The thing is, those companies are trying their best to emulate that, but they all sound different in some way or form. I can totally try to load the IK Multimedia one and see if they are the same. I guarantee you that they are gonna be different, but let's try. That was actually a nice question. I'm interested in knowing what happens. So first of all, as you can see, let's bring down everything to 0 and this one to 100, and it's already way different, like way different. It doesn't have the 1 dB bump than the Waves has, but the original hardware does have that bump in game, so they get rid of that, which is honestly a good thing. in my opinion. I don't want to have that bump, but we'll see. And let's try to change some settings. We have those true to 0, so we're just yeah, this one is a 0, our 0. Yeah, as you can see, very different. Let's try to boost this one to 50%, which is 5 dB apparently. Let's bring up this one to 50%. See, it's close. It's 1 dB less loud, and I can totally be fine with that. But it's different. Like, it has also this thing which I believe is not the exact same EQ curve that is doing. It's more like an artifact for some sort of oversampling thing. I'm not sure what is happening. And let's crank it up to 100. See, we're losing a dB here. So, and also, yeah, the coloring is different. Like, trust me, the harmonic generations that they're doing is totally different. So as you can see, it's not like there's one perfect emulation and the other one are all bad. They sound different. I'm not sure the decision they made when they were designing these plugins, but they all sound different. So you have to pick your favorite and just, you know, go with that. I like the Waves one more than this one from IK Multimedia, so I chose that one. Yeah, as you can see, totally different. Look at that. Look at that. We are at 0. So I hope this could, you know, answer a lot of questions, because that's a very common question to ask. Another question. Another question. When did you start making the patcher clones in Italy? Initially. Okay, sorry. I started using Patcher because I needed some quick tool for my productions. For example, the Hype plugin that I did, the Endless Mile clone, kinda, is not a clone that I did for YouTube videos or for the community. It was a clone that I did because I needed that effect in my production. And instead of every time loading all the effects, all the delays, blah blah blah, I created a patcher plugin. And also the other one called Filters. It's my patch called Filters. It's a patch that I wanted to have because I always need those dynamic low pass and high pass through the song, so automated through the song in my productions. So I created that. And when I had those two, I was like, let's try to build another patch. And I tried to create a clone of the CLA vocals, but you know, my version of it, because I like a lot the CLA vocals, but sometimes it doesn't really have my taste in the delays and stuff, and of course in the EQ a lot. So it was kind of, I want to use it, but sometimes I cannot use it because I don't like those settings. So I was like, let's create one, you know, just for fun, and I went from there. So first patch that I did was Filters and Hype. The first big one I did was the Enhancer, which is CLA vocal clone, and then I did the Inspector. But yeah, also the Inspector, it's kind of outdated because I was still trying to experiment with that, and I'm planning to do a lighter version of it because now I know a lot of more stuff about Patcher, and I want to implement that in my previous patches as well. So expect a Inspector 2.0 in the future, because I will do that. So reading the chat. Well, as an engineer, math definitely helped me understand music and those faster. Yes. Who are you? Pau673. Completely agree with you. I wasn't the best student in school. I was pretty good, to be honest, but I wasn't like the nerd one. Like, I hated studying. Studying is not my thing. I like to learn things in a different way, sadly. But I totally was enjoying knowing stuff and applicate them to music. And math, of course, is so much useful. So much more useful than you think, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, also electrical engineering, the circuits and stuff. I studied that a tiny bit too, but a tiny bit, because my school was a scientific liceo scientifico sperimentale. That's the name in Italian, like experimental scientific high school. It's called like that. It's one of the most prestigious type of study you can do in Italy, even though it's not always the case. Like, it depends school from school. But yeah, definitely helped me a lot with music. When I was studying electronics, okay, aren't plugins different because they are emulating different piece of hardware? No, the Waves Pultec clone, it's a Pultec clone, and IK Multimedia Pultec clone, it's a Pultec clone, but they sound different. I don't know why, honestly. They should sound... I'm okay that they sound different, but they sound very different. That's a little bit concerning. So you kinda... If you never used a Pultec, me included, I never used a real Pultec in my life, I can't tell which one is the best one, because I don't know it. How does one decide which company to go with plugin simulations? I don't know, man. I have a lot of Waves plugin because I bought a lot of bundles. So a lot of stuff all in one. I saved a lot of money, I also have a lot of Waves plugin that I never use. And same thing with IK Multimedia. I bought the whole bundle and I wasn't thinking about, oh, I need that emulation and that emulation. I just bought the bundles. And definitely try to invest in bundles when there are sales. If you wanna, how can I say? If you wanna have a lot of tools at your disposal, but I don't know. In my opinion, bundles all the time. Someone donated. Oh my god. How much did you donate it? Did you donate $150? Are you... Did you put that as a mistake? There's way too much. Holy damn. J Para, are you nuts? You could have bought a bundle with that amount of money. Are you sure about that? Let me know if actually the amount of money you want to donate me. Damn, is that... What is CA? Nah. That is... Let me know if it's a mistake. Yes, I can see the jingle now. No mistake. Dude, you are nuts. Like, what the F? I don't want to swear. I'm monetized now. I'm a good boy. Damn, thank you so much, Jay. And feel free to, you already are on Discord, but feel free to, to do a little bit of, self-promotion, because I feel like I honestly don't deserve that amount of money. It's Canadian dollars, okay? I have no idea how much they are, but I can tell there is a big amount. So thank you so much, but I don't know what to say. Like, thank you so much. I would love to check your stuff. I know that you're good because I already listened to a lot of stuff from you, but send me a link of your SoundCloud, YouTube, whatever in the DMs too, because I can check your stuff as well more carefully, and maybe giving you some feedbacks and stuff, even in private. I don't want to be like, it doesn't need to be public and stuff, but yeah, thank you so much. Super appreciate it. And we were talking about bundles. Yes, buy bundles when you feel like confident in doing that. I never bought the Plugin Alliance bundle, never, which is $250, something like that. But with the ears and all the sales and stuff, I actually spent more. And I looked back and I was like, if I had purchased the whole thing right away, it would be like, it could have been the best thing ever, because I could save like a fair amount of money, and I would have all the plugins at my disposal, basically. Yeah, Jay, feel free to send me stuff in private, and I would love to check them out when you have them. No stress. Thank you so much, by the way. So we did the I think that this live stream was a tiny bit ambitious with trying to replicate the old Pultec, but we managed to do a pretty good job with the boost and the frequency. So let's try to nail the boost perfectly, and we'll see how it goes. I will keep going until like another hour probably. One more question: any more music coming soon? Yes, I have 2 remixes coming, and so stay tuned. Original music, not yet, but I'm trying to shape a new sound for my artist project, and we'll see how it goes, because I want to do new stuff, and that's it. So nothing scheduled yet. Stay focused, and we'll see. Yeah, Glay is suggesting also patch review. Yeah, we can do that, because we spent a fair amount of time with this. So let's do this. Another 10 minutes with the boost knob, trying to have that in the pack. I don't know if that's a way, if you can say that in English, but when in Italian we say, how we say, what we say, don't remember. I can think in Italian when I'm switched into the English language, and then we can jump into the patch review. That's a very good thing. Thanks for suggesting that. So for the one that doesn't know, in my Discord there are a lot of patches made by the members. and the members are very good at creating new effects and stuff. So we're gonna take a look at what they did, and we'll see. So we have those thing we can do 12.5. Zero. Nice. So as you can see, when we are at 12.5%, kinda, we are a little bit down with the low shelf. So let's try to fix that real quick. If I turn this one up a tiny bit, pretty much nailed it. Copy. And let's deactivate the snap because we are going very precise. So I'm looking at the little screen in the top left corner, and when I see 12, it doesn't have 12.5, but yeah, 12 or 13. That's my X value. And with the Y value, I just right click and paste. Nice. Nice. And let's do that. It goes down a little bit, also the other one. So let's try to bring the bell a tiny bit up, like this. Copy. No snap again. Let's set it to 12 and paste. That's very high. Okay. Oh, and by the way, guys, I never told you this, that since my channel is monetized right now, it's potentially can earn a tiny bit of money with the videos. So if people watch the ads and stuff, you know, I get some revenue. But with your donations like this one, that I just had by J Para, yes, I will use them to increase the amount of content. So right now, Jay, if you have like a plugin clone request, I will love to actually do that. And if I don't own the plugin, with your money that you donated to me, I can buy the plugin and create a clone of it for everyone. So you're just not doing this for yourself, like, oh, I donate this guy, let's say, 20 bucks, so he can afford that 20 bucks plugin and he can provide me the clone of that 20 bucks. Doesn't make sense. I have to provide the community, all the people with that amount with that plugin. So wanted to throw that out. I'm not gonna spend your money in shoes. Actually, I have shoes. I have enough. Yeah. I'm living a constant money in, money out policy in my life. And I like it. Oh, damn. I forgot. Damn, I have to use the dot, but not this dot. interesting. Okay. Yeah, by the way, we're gonna jump into the patcher review for sure. And I'm actually a little bit concerned that I want to show something first, because okay, we were able to understand how to process that. Of course, when I'm done, when the plugin is finished, all I have to do is open up all this thing and click the little arrow and click flip vertically. So instead of cutting in the boost, it will actually boost, and in the attenuation knob, instead of boosting, it will cut. So I'm mirroring everything and have the perfect clone. That's it. I wanna show you how you can understand the harmonic content of any plugin that you have. You just need a spectrum analyzer. We can use a FabFilter Pro Q for that. We don't need the little impulse train. We're gonna load up synthesizer with a pure sine wave. Let's load up Citrus, if I can find it. Okay, let's create default. Actually, I can make you hear what's going on. If I move the... Oops, sorry, that was loud. But yeah, the idea is you load up a plugin that can provide you a sine wave. Actually, let's mute that. Let's bring back the music. We don't really need to listen to that. It's just for explaining what a plugin is doing. And let's load a Pultec. Let's bring everything to 0. Let's load a full reset with this one off, of course. As you can see, the sine wave is no more a sine wave, but it has a couple of harmonics. They are generated by the Pultec. We have first harmonic, which is the double the frequency of the fundamental. So if this one is 300 Hertz, this one is 600 Hertz. We can actually read that, and I don't know if you actually can, but yeah. Let's try to make it this one bigger, extra large. Nice. So as you can see, 600, 300, double the frequency, and this is a even harmonic. This is a odd harmonic, which is 900 Hertz, kinda, and it's the first odd harmonic is basically what a square or a triangle wave will introduce. So sine wave. Oops, let's get rid of that real quick. I want to show you something. Okay. So as you can see, sine wave, pure sine wave. Let's bring it back a little bit, like this. Sine wave. If I introduce the first harmonic, it will be this one. See? And then the first odd harmonic. If I do this, it will start going into a square wave, just odd harmonics. But if I do this, it it will start sounding more like a saw wave. So both even and odd harmonics. If I remove the odd harmonics and just keep the even, it will sound like a saw wave, which is more fat, less loud, more warm, kind of like this. If you wanna taste the sound of it, I can make you listen to it. So this is a sine with a lot of even harmonics. This is pure sine wave, pretty sterile, and this is a waveform with just odd harmonics. Sounds more squarey, more loud, more cold. The other one is less loud, more warm, more full and stuff. The combination between those two harmonics will actually provide you a very fat sound. Okay, so if you're wondering the harmonics that are being generated by your or external plugins and stuff, just do that. Let's try to introduce another plugin that I use. We'll see which one. Let's say, I don't know, the Camel Crusher, just because it's kind of a meme. Let's activate the audio. Okay, let's bring this one down to a single sine wave. As you can see, right off the bat, a square wave basically, because the distortion is up. Sine wave, okay. Distortion on. Tube. Is it doing something? Not really. Why is it not doing something? Maybe it's deactivated. Camel Crusher. What is going on? See, I'm discovering new stuff. Oh, because the master was not. Okay. I never used the Camel Crusher, by the way. That's why I'm so noob with that. The mix is all the way up. Okay, so distortion at 0. As you can see, no harmonics at all. When we introduce the tube, boom, a lot of harmonics, especially odd harmonics, more squarey. And let's try the mech, more odd harmonics. The combination of the two. Yeah. This one is more towards the top end, this one is less. So, as you can see, these harmonics you see there are all generated from the distortion. And of course, this is a distortion, so of course it generates harmonics. But with analog gear like the Pultec or more plugins that color your sound but they don't really tell what's going on behind the hood, well, this is a perfect way to discover what they actually does. You can see, and the lower you go in the frequency, the more harmonics you're gonna see, of course. So as you can see, this tube thing, this tube distortion is pretty it's not that harsh. This match, whatever, it's way harsher, maybe. I don't know. The combination of the two is basically pretty nasty. But we all know the Camel Crusher. Yeah, let's do some patch review thing now. So, give me a sec. I'm going to load a new project, empty project. And we can try to do some review. So let's open up Discord. on master. Yes, Camel Crusher on master all the time. He has to be connected with the internet, of course. I forgot I deactivated the Wi-Fi. So if you have some questions, this is the time. Would love to reply. I would love to reply to your questions. Okay, let's go in patcher, community patches. Damn. Let's start from the beginning. I'm gonna review probably my favorite ones. I don't know, maybe all of them. I don't know. Let's do this. So the first patch, which is not the first one because the one that was actually first got an update, so moved down in the list. But yeah, right now the first one that I have is Noise Lasers by Fake Dubs, which I believe it's watching. I saw a couple of messages from him. And it's basically a noise follower. So anything you feed into this patch, it will add noise to it, but it's dynamic. It's gonna be controlled by the dynamic of the sound. So more volume you're introducing with your signal, the more noise you will have. We can try it. I already have it saved in on my DAW, of course. I have a folder called community patches, and we just have to load up this one. Nice. And I'm gonna load a loop. Hopefully it won't get me a copyright strike. The latest live stream that I did, which was for the music contest. By the way, submissions were nuts. You're way too much talented. And I got some copyright claims because I used a clap effect that apparently was copyrighted. A clap effect. Can you believe that? Okay, let's close this one. And let's see. Music off, audio on. Let's listen to it. I chose a drum loop. Oh my god, a drum loop. Oh my god. Because it has a lot of dynamics in the amplitude, and this will be a better example for this patch. So right now it's off. Let's try to increase the amount. Solo noise. Okay, color. This is a reverb on the noise. And an high pass. So it's very simple, and of course I will say that this kind of patch it's not meant to be used on a drum loop especially, but it could be awesome on a synth to add that sparkle, that noise on the top, which sometimes you need. Let's try loading a saw wave, and let's try to add some noise. Let's reverb. Okay, let's try to add some simple effects, like some delays, just for the sake of see what's going on, and a reverb like this. Okay. So let's try to do something like this. No, let's keep the polyphony. Like, you know, the little noise on top of it really makes this saw wave, which is super basic, more interesting. Without, with, yeah, it's very clear to me, but I don't know if in the stream you can actually tell the difference. Let's try to exaggerate a little bit. So, very useful. I will use this one on synth, of course. It has, the noise has a little bit of tail, which could be faster, in my opinion. And all you have to do is just mess around with the peak controller, which is this one, the decay time. As you can see, the decay time, it's a tiny bit slower, could be faster, like this. Oops, like this. Too fast, like this. So you could have another knob somewhere, maybe like here, that controls that decay time, and that's it. But yeah, I will rate this one patch review. I'm not copying famous YouTubers, of course. This is a 100% original thing. But yeah, this one is actually pretty useful and ready to go. I will rate this one Pepe. Pepe. Nice Pepe. Pepe is my dog, by the way. The next one is imperfect. Yes. And actually, I got the question in my server. Frank, what are the community patches that you actually use the most? And it was a tough question because most of them are pretty cool, but I will just use them to experiment and get ideas and stuff. But I actually used this one, which is the imperfect, in a production that I did. It wasn't for me, by the way. Let's see how it behaves. Let's get rid of the delays. So plain saw wave. Let's hear it. Probably I will need another type of instrument, more like a piano, because this one uses the pitcher to introduce some weird stuff to the instrument you're playing. And of course, a sine wave is gonna be a sine wave, so perfectly in tuned, unless you detune it. But let's load a real instrument so we can tell really what it's going to do to the sound. Update available, nice. Piano. Let's load the grand piano, Nexus grand piano. No reverb and no delay. Nice. Let's hear it. Love it. Did you actually tell that it was kind of wobbling a bit? See, it's like a RC20 type of wow effect, but instead of using like a delay to move the play speed of your signal, which is the exact way to do it, this one is clever and is using pitcher. So this pitcher is trying to put everything on pitch, but by doing that, since a piano sound is not perfectly tuned, I mean, it's perfectly tuned, but it has a lot of harmonics and stuff, it will kind of get crazy, and to try to put that on, I want to say on grid, but it's not on grid, it's on pitch. Let's try to with more complex chords. Let's see how it handles them, especially the tails like that. And this is just 0. If you increase the speed, it will start doing that fine-tune stuff. It's actually a little disappointing. I like it more slow. Yeah, wow and flutter, but not quite. Yeah, it's a different approach. One thing that you should do if you use this patch is actually, in my opinion, bounce the sound, because anytime you're going to play that thing, even though the MIDI is the same, it doesn't really feel the same all the time, so you have to be careful about that. Sometimes it will have a wobble effect in some places, and if you play that again, it will start putting the wobbling effect in some other places. So my opinion with this one is use it, but bounce the track so you don't have surprises. And bounce the track until you like the result, of course. And of course it works more with the long notes instead of snappy notes. And you can go with the size crazy and have this very weird sound. Let's try this. Oops. I like it. It's unexpected, it's weird, and in a very good way. So very inspiring. I will rate this one water. This deserves water. A water prize. Love it. Let's go ahead and see the next one. Oh, and this one is from this guy that got quite the attention for this one, because also a couple of YouTube channel reviewed that, and the plugin is very well made. In my opinion, doesn't sound similar to the RC20, but it does the same thing. So in my opinion, it can be considered a clone, because you just have the effects. And I'm gonna save it later. Damn, message. And the stream died again. The stream died again for a second. Sorry, boys. Yeah, we have those hiccups. I don't know. Let's try this bad boy here. Let's deactivate the previous one. Let's delete it. Actually, let's see. It's a little bit confusing how to actually put it into work. I never actually used this one, so this is the first time for me. I just tested when it was submitted and it was working, so maybe I'm missing something. This is the noise, so we should be able to hear the noise. No? You have to configure the noise. Why should you do that? I have no idea what's happening, but to configure, I did RC20 clone myself, which actually came out on my server as a beta version a long time ago. And with this one, you don't have to set up anything in the map. Like, as soon as you load it, boom, you have the super pleasing vinyl noise, and you can change it to VHS. Of course, there's also a beat crusher and white noise. White noise, VHS, so it's like a tape machine noise, and vinyl. Can you hear that? Super relaxing, by the way. So I'm reviewing my own patch now. You know, with a wobble. This one is using the delay trick, which is basically emulate the speed of the vinyl or the tape going. So if you increase and decrease that dynamically, you will start creating this effect. The other patch, the imperfection we reviewed, was using a different approach, and actually I was blown away by that. So this one is the RC20 from that guy. It's very complex. I'm sure it's awesome. I don't want to focus on too much on that. I want to go with the next one, which is Broadcaster by Derek. Derek is one hell of a guy because he released a lot of patches on the server. He's probably the one that released the most. And they are all vintage effect, type of effect. I'm pretty sure he launched a YouTube channel too. Still in the very beginning, but he posted something on the Discord, so I suggest you to support him because it's really good. Derek and Tube, no, I was called, don't remember, Broadcaster. And with this one, we could actually use a sine wave plus the equalizer. So we can tell the spectrum analyzer, maybe. Let's load Citrus, default. And pop filter. Now it's too big, medium. Let's mute the sine wave, which is pretty annoying. But as you can see, it's a distortion harmonic generation thing. So harmonic generation, it colors the sound. As you can see, even harmonics and odd harmonics, and the drive, of course, the input will drive the signal. Correction, I'm not sure what this is doing. It's seeing the top end. If you turn this one down, we will start decreasing the top end, so it will be more gentle. And low, it's basically an EQ. Will boost the low frequency, aka will distort the hell out of the signal because it's a boost. If you cut it, it will cut. Am I right? No, it's not the EQ. See? And this one is doing that. So this one also has a tube thing in the middle, which I'm not sure what it does. Could it be this one? Tube, yes. Yeah, it's just a very slight curve with the wave shaper that you can blend in. Awesome. Very straightforward. You need some harmonics sound a little bit dull and whatever, use one of Derek's patches and experiment with that. Every patch has his own sound, so my review for that is analog. Yes, analog is another type of rating from now on. And we have Bloodlust. Bloodlust is basically a distortion, but it's very strange, so it's pretty good. Bloodlust by Rin. Let's try to do something. Let's not use a piano, let's use a saw wave. See? With the drive, and that's it. We have a sound which is pretty good. Let's introduce some reverb. Cool, with just this one. Color. It's changing a little bit the tone of it. The phase, it's an high pass filter, which of course changes the phase, but if you change the phase, if you change the phase before a distortion thing, it will change the actual sound of the distortion. See, this one is more nasal, more this one is more flat, and low pass filter. So you can use this one on OTT, on 808 and stuff. If you like distort the hell of it and then low pass it. We have also this, which introduced something. Which is of course something weird with an EQ, I believe. Am I right? No. It does something, of course, in the area. Yeah, maybe it's an all pass. I don't know. But yeah, it's a bloody overdrive on steroid. That's the right, definition of that. As you can see, fruity blood overdrive on steroids. Love that. Bloody beetroots. That's the evaluation. You have a 3 bands fattener, which is of course a little bit outdated, because right now we are we FL Studio people, we have, I don't know why I downloaded, but by the way, we have the splitter, and since this one was made before the splitter got released, the frequency splitter I'm talking about, it uses 3 instances of Maximus to split the bands. So this is the low band, this is the mid band, and this is the high band. And it's basically, I don't know, it says the multiband, I don't remember. It's a multiband compression thing. It uses this fatness, which is a pretty standard compression on the 3 signal. Let's try to feed a saw wave in it, see how it handles it. So basically it's makes the bands very, very loud if you push up the fatness. So it can be a good option if you wanna have just a tiny bit of if you want to have some experimentation with your sound. But it's not just the volume, it's also the compression. So let's see how it handles a piano. It's not compressing it. Maybe I'm not in the right band. This one is not doing much. It also has a wave shaper after the compression. Should be like more like this. Not a big fan of this, honestly, but it works and it's there for experimentation and stuff. It's a little bit updated. Probably a newer version, more capable of handling stuff, will be better with the frequency splitter too. And then we have Derek. I would love to check all the Derek's patches because they are amazing, but they are also many, as you can see. And the luxury bias. Let's load it. Let's see how he handles a simple sine wave. Look at that. I could already tell by the sound of it. It introduced an harmonic on top of it. Awesome. If you move the bias all the way down, no more even harmonics, just odd harmonics. So it's more like a triangle wave. The result. And we have the crossover thing, which is the crossover of the tube emulation is doing. Awesome. Like, this guy is super clever and I love it. He also, as you can see, to generate even harmonics and to generate odd harmonics is super simple. You distort something with a digital distortion and boom, odd harmonics. Very easy. But if you want to introduce other harmonics, what you have to do is you have to offset your audio and then saturate it or distort it, and you will introduce even harmonics. And with the wave shaper you can do something like this, so it will introduce a steady sound to your audio, so like an offset, which is a bad thing. And with the mix you can blend it in, but you can get rid of the offset if you enable the center option here on later on in the process. And so your sound is good to go. Center basically remove all the offsets. It's not magical, it's not perfect. Sometimes it can be a little bit off, so make sure you listen to the stuff you're processing, but it's super good. So Derek is a genius, and let's rate it genius. Albert Einstein, let's call it that way. And guess what? We have another Derek patch, and this is a luxury tape. And luxury tape emulates something more complex. We have luxury bias and luxury tape, and also the look on the patch is super good because it looks like a tape desk. That's what it's called. from the, from a certain perspective. You can actually see the tape here from, not from above, but from, I don't know. Let's test it. Nice. You have to drive your input a little bit, just like, the tape thing. And look at that. He's also emulating a little bit of wobbling. And of course the right and I believe the right and the left channel are being splitted here. Am I right? Yes. So the right channel has this kind of wobbling EQ, and the right signal, left, wherever, it has another speed. So all together they sound like this. Let's try it. So very aggressive distortion if you drive it a lot. Nice. I will rate that tape review, I don't know. And then we have Fresh, which is attempt of recreating the Fresh Air by Slate Digital. Also, I'm going to read the chat a bit because I don't want to miss everything again. Fresh. And honestly, this is a very good patch. Let's try with a saw wave. Nice. Basically what it did, it tried to emulate the best possible way the Fresh Air, which it's not the same. The Fresh Air can go very higher with this, but this is what the Fresh Air plugin is doing. So with the Mid Air, it's doing basically this, introduces a little bump in the whole thing, and especially here, and with a little bit of notch there. And this one is going crazy with the high frequencies and create another dip here. I'm not sure, I try myself to emulate that just for fun, and it's pretty hard because when you use these two together, they kind of felt different. I don't know, but this is completely valuable patch that you can use if you don't have the Fresh Air plugin, which is free, but you have to use iLok to install that. And I'm gonna rate this one cool because it's Fresh Air, fresh, cool. I don't know. I'm just randomly picking names basically. The next one is also from Derek, and it's M15 tape, which is basically a different version of the previous one. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this, but yeah, it has basically the same input and output concept. You can change the type of distortion with the middle. Not sure what it's controlling, but let's try with a sine wave. See? So good. Amazing. And this actually sounds pretty legit because I don't know, it kind of sound like, you know, a tape distortion. Of course, that's what I wanted to do, but that was great. And this one, the prototype, it's by far the best interface you can find on my Discord server, hands down. Look at that. Can you see that the tape is spinning? Oops, wrong. Look what it did. So good. Like, I didn't even thought it was possible to create something like this. And this is like it's like a cassette thing. I'm not blown away by the effect itself, but the interface is so good. Let's try to do something with it. Of course, you can drive stuff, and also there's this one is the main effect. Which is pretty extreme. I will keep them personal taste pretty low, and like this. Let's try to play something. You know, that movement, boom, it's a wow flutter effect, just like the retro, just like the RC20, something like that, super simple. And it uses to create that wobbling effect and the delays, yeah, just like I did with the retro. See, awesome. I will rate this one, I don't know, cassette, VH, tape thing. I don't know. No, I was called. Oh my god, I can't remember. Mixtape. Yeah, mixtape. Mixtape. Let me read the chat a bit. Any hiccups in the stream? Hiccups in the meantime? Every 20 minutes stream stop for a second. Yes, I know. Where I can get your version of SC20? It's not out yet, but it's going to be out in the next videos. I'm planning to do series of video. They're recording like 3 instances, and they're gonna be like 6 videos, and they're gonna be more compact in time, like maybe weekly even, and they're gonna be shorter, and I'm gonna release more patches. And the RC20 clone will be between those ones. His name on YouTube, I don't actually know. Derek YouTube, you can find something in the Patcher Lab. He just posted something. No, he posted just a video, but he surely posted his YouTube channel as well. So you can find it on the server for sure. Hey, VSERP. Thank you. You're welcome. Just wanted to say thanks for your patches. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Glad you like them. The Ableton Overdrive. Has anyone remade the Ableton Overdrive? I don't know. Is it that special? Like it's an overdrive? I mean, it's really good sounding, to be honest. But I don't know. Never thought about that. I wish it was there, maybe. The retro patch, my version, the beta version was on my server somewhere. I don't know, maybe it was a link, but maybe the link doesn't work anymore. I don't know, guys. I posted when my server had like 200 members. Right now we are 1600, so change a lot from that. Have you heard Look at the Sky by Porter Robinson? Yes, I have. I think it's pretty cool. Porter Robinson, everybody loves Porter Robinson, right? Fresh air, toothpaste ads, fresh air, fresh cool. Okay. Have you heard Look at the Sky, Porter Robinson? Yes, I have. Sorry, I replied to your question twice. So, next one. Retro Desk by, guess who? Derek. I mean, all these patches, in my opinion, are mind-blowing. So, you should definitely support them if the chance comes. Like, trust me. This one is really good too. Odd harmonics, I hear. I mean, even harmonics. I keep saying odd harmonics. When a sine wave starts to sound a little bit so-ish, it's even harmonics. If it starts sounding squarish, odd harmonics. Nice. Look at that. Just 3 harmonics with the bias. I mean, I don't even have to tell you guys that these patches are really worth some money, and he's just giving away for free. Awesome. We have Magic Eye. Magic Eye is just a visualizer or something. What is it? Magic Eye. Glay and Derek did this. Yes. And it's an awesome meter, sorry. The next one is Rin. Has effect, has filter. So this one is literally an has effect, but it's basically split the audio, I think. Oh no, sorry. It's an has effect that you can use, like, I can say chirurgically. So you can tell, oh, the left delay must have a delay. Boom. The right should be a delay. And you can blend those in and create awesome stuff. There's also a high pass, low pass, dry and wet. So let's say that I have this one. See, where's the dry, wet? Oops. So right now I have just a bunch of sine waves that sound stereo. Just because of this has filter, which is super handy. Actually, I will use this one. I kind of forget about this one, but yeah. For percussion especially, it will be great. Let's try the drum loop. So it's like a slap delay, which you can control left, right, just one delay. Boom, awesome. And you can even filter it. So right now the hi-hats are not being slapped but the bass drum and the snare. Yes, awesome. And 8 out of 10, a proper number this time. How many we did? I don't want to continue forever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's go up until 20. Split freak. I don't remember what this one does at all. Mid saturation, side saturation. Oh, okay, it's a saturation on the mid, and it controls basically saturation, high pass, and low pass on the mid, and same thing on the side. So if we have a piano, we can saturate the side signal, for example. OBS just died again. Okay. Nice. So we can like have a piano that is way distorted, but in the end the mid signal is still clean. Awesome, creative, like it. And you know, also some filtering. Nice. And nice. Introduce another plugin that is very, I don't know, and very inspiring, and it's basically, it works like this. I actually want to use it in one of my production because it's super clever. Let's create something very simple, like, I don't know, let's do the same chord progression I did earlier. Like this. Be patient, be patient. Let's say like this, and let's have a ARP like this. Be patient. I want to prove you that that was very clever thing, very clever patch. So if you have something like this going on in your song, especially in the beginning, it's called introduce for a reason. You turn it up 100%, and then this happens. Let's take a listen. This one is magical. It's very simple, and it has one flavor, which is this flavor here, but it just works immensely good, in my opinion. Let's take a listen again. Wait, I want to increase the volume so you can hear better. Awesome. Like, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. And super clever. It doesn't take much resources, as you can see. Delay, filter, reverb, and that's it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This one is one of my favorite patches of the Discord server for sure, because it's just magical. Like, it sounds like you did very clever stuff to achieve that effect, and it's just this patch which has 3 effects in it, and it just works. Awesome. Patch review, magical vibe. I don't know. So go ahead and try the Fate 008. That is meant for 808, in my opinion. Oops. I don't know, it's super weird. Introduces some noise. Let's try it with actual 808, because I believe it was designed to be used on 808. Samples, okay. Since I don't remember where I saved. Yeah. Let's do this one. Ooh, nasty. Let's try to so it's basically just a very heavy and OBS it's up again. I didn't do much. I stopped because I noticed that I wasn't online anymore. I don't know, OBS is just effing with us today. Let's see what that is about, because I have no idea. By the way, super nasty and creative effect. I like that. And where we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 3 more. Industry, thick style, and little fat. Industry. I believe the little fat has a newer version, so I'll probably skip that and wait for the newer version. And industry. This one was designed for industry kicks. That's not the perfect kick, but whatever. Let's try it. It's not the perfect kick for this. Let's try this one. So, you know, that rumble thing. And I never produced anything industrial like that, so I don't know where to start. This kick is like Let's try this one. I mean, it's pretty nice. Oops. Yeah, this one feels more right. Volume, stereo volume, kick volume. Nice, could be creative. And thick style is the same thing, but for hardstyle kicks. Hardstyle. Ring. Where is it? Thick style. It's very overwhelming, but it's just, you have to be patient and experiment with the peaks and stuff and the distortion. So we have this kick, which is very loud. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's decrease the output. Nice. We have a very cool hardstyle kick with no sub bass, of course, but you have to make up for it. Soft clip. Sounds good. Let's change the kick. Pretty nasty. So you can design your own sounds and stuff with this, which is not the best interfaces, but it's pretty effective. Let's skip the little feather because I know that there's a newer version, I think, or maybe not. Let's do the little feather, and this is gonna be the last one for this live stream. We're gonna take a look at the others in the next one, the next live stream, because it's pretty late. Little feather. This one is basically a fat rack. So let's load a simple saw. So yeah. More stereo. Mono-compatible. Bass boost. Really straightforward. And throw, which is a reverb that sounds like a dubstep thing. Super awesome. Love it, absolutely love it. Let's try to play something with this. I don't want the polyphony. One. Let's try it. It's pretty nasty. I'm gonna turn down the volume a little bit. And then, I don't know. I don't know what I have to play, but yeah, this is pretty nasty. And also it has this Fletcher-Monson thing, which is not perfect, but it emulates a little bit the Fletcher-Monson type of curve, so attenuation of the 2K, 3K area and boost a little bit of the low and mid-low frequencies. And it's basically, you know, if I have to explain the Fletcher-Monson curve, it's a curve that resembles how our ears listen to frequencies. So we are more sensible to some area, which is this area. We are very sensitive about this area, less sensitive about this area. And why, you ask? Because this is the main area for the spoken sounds, the spoken languages. And we evolved through history to be able to listen very clearly to this area because we were focusing on people vocal sounds. And if you listen to these sounds and that's it, you still are gonna be able to understand what someone is saying. If you filter out vocal with just these frequencies and nothing in this area, it will be hard for you to tell what this person is, what he's saying, basically. And this is a very crucial area, also for nature and defensive systems and stuff. I studied a lot of psychoacoustic too. Math is very useful, but psychoacoustic is even better. If you study psychoacoustic, which I strongly recommend you to find a book that talk about that. I studied in my university, so I didn't read books about it, but I know that they are out there, and they're gonna tell you so much things that you can translate into music production that you have no idea. For example, the Haas effect is one of those effects that your brain reacts to it. OBS. Yes, OBS died again. It's glitching. I don't know. It loses the connection somehow. I don't wanna... the connection is good. OBS is not destroying the thing. Yeah, the stream stops because my OBS loses the connection with YouTube, I think. And I'm glad that I noticed that pretty quickly, so I don't speak for no one in the meantime. I wait until OBS goes up again, and now it's red again. Oh no. Or maybe it's up. I don't know. It loses the connection with YouTube. That's pretty concerning. I don't know. I believe that's the problem because it's not glitching. The Wi-Fi signal is great. I mean, it's great with... I live in a countryside that is not great at all, but yeah. It's a problem, I think, with OBS and YouTube. I don't know, maybe with the schedule thing. I have no idea. But yeah, psychoacoustic. Let me say you this one thing before wrapping up the live stream. And... Frank, have you tried my patch Heaven? Yes, I do. It's pretty good. It has 2 reverbs and it's pretty amazing. But yeah, for now, I think 20 patches, a showcase of 20 patches, is pretty good. We're gonna look at other 20 patches or maybe more next time. And for the Pultec, I'll work on it and see if it's going through. It's way tougher than I thought, but it's definitely not impossible to achieve a pretty good result with Patcher. So I'm pretty happy with that, that we started basically. And psychoacoustic, just one little thing before I left you. Psychoacoustic is the study of how your brain works when you listen to sounds. So you can have... my dog is barking. You can have all the knowledge you need if you study that. For example, the Haas effect, it's delaying a sound from the left and right signal, basically. So it creates that little ambient thing. But what is it really? Of course, if I'm listening to, let's say, a sound coming from my left speaker and my right speaker individually, ping ping, I will say, oh, one came from there and one came from there. There's no surprise in that. But if the 2 sounds are super close in timing, less than 20 seconds, I believe that the maximum value in millisecond to actually have the Haas effect is around 20 milliseconds. Not sure. But if you have a sound that is playing from there and let's say 10 milliseconds later to the other speaker, you will not hear 2 sounds, but one. And you will pinpoint that sound in the direction of the first speaker that is playing that sound. Why? Those signals are at the same amplitude, and you're basically in the center and you're listening to both. Why you're saying, oh, it's come from there, even though it really come not from there. It's coming from two different speakers at the same distance as you. So why? Because in nature, when you listen to a sound that is coming from, let's say, your right or your left, and if I do this, let's say, okay, I'm listening to this very clearly with this ear and not so much clearly with this other ear, but if this snap comes from 20 meters from where I am, the differences between this ear and this ear in volume won't be much different. So how can I pinpoint this sound coming from there? Well, because the sound wave hits this ear before this one, so this ear will have a delay in the sound you listen to, and your brain translate that information of, oh, it's coming from there. But it's not that your right here is listening to a louder sound than the other one, because of course if you play a sound and you're wearing headphones and you pan it to the left and the left has more volume, you will say, oh, it's there. But if you introduce this Haas effect, you will have this timing thing, and your brain translate that into a direction information. That's super awesome. And that was useful basically for spotting predators and stuff in nature. Like, I don't know, deers have that too, because they can pinpoint the information. They also have the ears not placed like ours, because of course there's a difference in timing. If you have like a snap going over there, different in timing, a little different in volume, but that doesn't concern us if the source is very far from us. And it's also a filtering thing that happens because the sound travels around our head and it goes in the ear, so you're gonna have also different filtering going on the sound, but mainly it's the timing thing. So psychoacoustic teaches you all this stuff, like the Fletcher-Manson curve, it's one of them, the Haas effect is one other, and it's so helpful to discover new things to do with your production stuff. So that's really awesome, and it was by far the coolest thing I ever studied in my life, the coolest one. Let's read the chat for a second. Yeah, C-Ray Beats, the Haas effect is bad for mono compatibility if not doing it right. Yes, it's a double-edged sword, and if you use it with percussion sounds, short sounds, like Billie Eilish in the latest album she released, she has a lot of Haas effect with the percussion and stuff, but they are very clever put into the effect is put in a clever way in the production, so it works. But if you use it on like piano, like sustained sound on vocals, it's a big no-no on vocals in my opinion. Yeah, it can be dangerous, so make sure you're doing it right. Okay, but let me say you this: if you create a Haas effect, actually I have another patch that I can show you, which I did honestly for fun. I'm not planning to release it, but who will say? Which is a D expander dimension expander. I basically replicated the dimension expander from Xfer Records, so Steve Duda. Sounds like this. Let me wear this one. Not the perfect example. Let's load up a piano. Let's use the piano. So this one, as you can hear, makes everything louder, and it introduces a delay plus like introduce an as effect and a delay. It's a combination of the two. That's how dimension expander works. So it makes everything very, very loud, but it's 100% mono compatible, as you can see. So right now there's no signal, there's no effect, sorry, and you'll hear this. With effect, you'll hear the same exact thing, but if you bring it to the stereo, super wide, you can even increase the size. So this effect of thing going around won't mess with your mono signal. See, still fine. And then super wide, but still mono compatible, 100%. So this is the dimension expander. Basically, the dimension expander by Xfer does the exact same thing, and it's free. My settings might be a little bit different, of course, maybe a little bit longer. But this dry wet basically just controls the wet. So if you turn this one up and you put it in mono, same signal, so it won't mess with your mono compatibility. So this is the dimension expander, and this is mine. Yeah, they sound similar, they're not identical, but this is safe. But remember that side information is not your song. Your song is in the center of it. So don't get too much, how can I say? Don't get too much hyped on side information, because this is probably gonna be another topic for another video. And that, I swear this is the last thing, because I have to go have dinner. And let me load the the isotope thing, imager 2. I want this one. And so as you can see, I'm going even down. That's not a very good thing, but whatever. Your song is everything here in this triangle, kind of this section of the circle, which is your mid signal and your left signal and your right signal. Anything here and here, it's side information, and it will be cancelled if you put it in mono. And this is just excitement. Don't rely on this to say, oh, this sound design that I'm doing makes everything super wide, and you're just introducing side information. That's not sound design. Side information is not sound design. Sound design is in here. If you want to spread it out because your sound is a little bit boring, whatever, use a chorus, use some sort of, I don't know, delay and reverb and stuff, but don't rely on the side information for sound design. Side information is just excitement, and it's not your song. Your song is in the middle, in the mid signal, basically. So let's finish this one. It was a very long live stream, and that's it. Do we have another question about the SFED? If you are facing issues, then you can invert polarity on just one side and it makes more compatible. Yes, exactly. Slack just explained that thing pretty clearly. And also on hash effect and stuff, anything, you can just mute the mid signal that those stereo effects are producing. Just keep the side, and it will still be 100% mono compatible every time. So that's facts. And let's see. So instead of inverting the phase of the two channels so the mid channel can cancel each other, you can just mute it. It still works. It's pretty simpler to set up with Patcher anyway. But yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, almost 4 hours. It was a big live stream. This live stream is gonna be available on my YouTube channel, but just under unlisted. So if you wanna rewatch it, the link will be on my Discord in the news channel. And see, that's it. Okay. So let's take a look at my studio. Is it wow, look at that. Look at my studio. It's pretty good being here. So see you next time, and hope you had a blast. I had for sure. Was relaxing, was funny, fun, whatever. You know, during these times when we are all locked up at home, it's always good to have something going on. And I'm sorry for OBS being absolutely a pee-pee in the poo-poo. I don't want to say bad words, but you got what I mean, right? Okay. So see you on Discord, and stay safe, guy, and expect some more videos next week, because I'm going to do that weekly thing. So more videos, more patches. Okay. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Next Wednesday it's gonna be a I don't know still. I wanted to do some for fun stream, but honestly I think I will do another music competition and keep it that thing twice a month, sorry. Okay, we'll see about that. Music competitions are super fun and I love them, so I'm considering that. Bye. See you next time.